Hello and welcome to game 1 of Seraphinox versus Kelebra in round 1 of the Gafer Urgot 1v1 tournament. This is a 1v1 tournament for, I suppose, a group of friends that we have. And we're all interested in this wonderful hunk of man meat called Urgot. You should look up his picture on YouTube.
Welcome
or
to
Facebook.
Summoner's Rift.
Or what is that thing you use to check up things on the internet? Oh, Google. I'm a fucking idiot. Anyways, as you can see, top lane is where the action is going to be taking place, and we will be having Yorick, the Gravedigger, versus Lee Sin, the Blind Monk. Lee Sin is famed for being blind, and Yorick is famed for being the immovable brick of top lane, so we can probably expect this to be a long game. As you can actually see on the screen, I've only realized this now, the timing for the game is actually quite visible. So yeah, you're in for a long one. Don't worry, I've got my cup of tea. Ah, that's good. And they're
Minions have spawned.
not being inappropriate in chat at all. Be gentle, it's my first time. Now, looking at items, you can see that Yorick has decided to go with Boots 3 pots, and Lee Sin has decided to go with a ward. Interesting choice. A ward, red pot, and 4 health pots, which the only reason I'm amazed at that ward is, like, is he taking the Lee Sin being blind literally thing, or is he just actually that worried about Yorick just staying in bush and sending his minions out? Yorick has the ability to create 3 different types of ghoul. There's a slowing one, there's a damage one, and there's something else. They'd all do wonderfully annoying things. That is what Yorick does. He annoys, constantly just like pecking away at your health before coming over and whacking you with his shovel. Whereas Lee Sin is more of a mobile ability champ. He can use his resonating strike to, if it hits, jump to you and get in there, and then use a multitude of he has a second ability on each of his main abilities, which when activated the second time can be used to gain health or do all sorts of stuff. But anyways, as you can see here, we've started off and Yorick has already fallen behind in the minion count, while Lee Sin is just kicking away at all of the minions, racking up his score. Minions are very important in this because, well, as you can see in this long game, the higher the minion count, the better, the more money you'll have, and in this long game, items are going to be very, very important. 3 minutes into this now, and we can see that already Lee Sin has all of his different abilities, which is very important. Whereas Yorick has been focusing on his red minion, which is the one that does the most damage, while also healing Yorick back for any damage done to his opponent, which is another reason why Yorick is just the immovable tank of top lane. Is the more he just keeps summoning that minion, the more health he just keeps gaining back. Another thing to note, like one of the more unusual things I've seen here, is the fact that Yorick has boots, which I wouldn't have expected. I would have thought more health pots or maybe a damage item or something would have been more helpful, because there isn't exactly a lot of moving necessary. Maybe to dodge those resonating strikes, but they shouldn't be his main worry. Maybe it's just to get in and out of there quicker, but I don't know. I don't think Boots 1 is worth it as much anymore after the big change coming into Season 3, where Boots lost an awful lot of their base movement speed boost. Sin has also hit level 5 quicker, which means he's also ahead in just experience, which could be really useful because getting to level 6 first can lead to like very sticky situations for your opponent, where as soon as you have that ultimate, you can practically jump in on top of Yorick, get in behind him, kick him back, and just like lay into him until he's dead. But then again, Yorick again is just a brick. He's already out of mana, which is also where Seraphinox has decided to go with an energy camp, which means that he doesn't have to worry about that resource. It constantly keeps ticking back. Whereas mana, on the other hand, is much slower. You have to manage your abilities an awful lot more. And he doesn't have any blue pots, so he's not going to be getting that back anytime soon. And you can see that red minion is doing an awful lot of damage to Lee Sin at the moment. Again, you can see that they're both gone with very offensive masteries, or summoner spells, namely Flash Ignite. Flash to get in offensively and escape defensively, whereas Ignite is just straight up offense, trying to do as much true damage as you can to your opponent just to take them down first. Which is strange that we haven't seen any real proper like engagements. A few times they've gotten pretty low, but there's not been any like rush to go in and just end this game now. That's mainly because of just the sustain that both of them have. Lee Sin has a lot of lifesteal, while Urgot also has an awful lot of lifesteal, so it's probably why this game... Whoa, that went down really low there. The Ignite not going low enough, and that is the reason that Lee Sin actually had that ward. I was being silly and forgot that that Lee Sin can actually jump to wards as well using his shield ability. Which is why he tried to get in behind Yorick and kick him back there, but the Ignite just didn't do enough damage, and Yorick was able to get out of there using his flash. He was almost misstepped it as well. He nearly just ran straight back into the fray. It probably could have been ended there, but he's seen if you'd have been a bit more aggressive on top of that Yorick. I think there was probably one more resonating strike in there somewhere that it could have happened. But as you can see, he's potting up and getting more wards just to... And also getting a no magic mantle. Now Yorick is sort of a hybrid champion, so I'm debating whether that was the better choice. And also Yorick is going with Tear of the Goddess, which allows him just to keep... Again, this is straight up to combat his mana problems. The more he uses his ghouls, which he's going to constantly spam, the more mana like he'll actually have. As you can see, it can go up to 750 mana returned. He's probably going to be looking to turn that into a Manamune just for the attack damage then later. Oh wow. Really aggressive off the start, but you can see the damage that those 3 minions can do. I don't actually know what the Omen of War actually does. That's a straight up attack tool. Ah, I see. Now, okay. So Famine is used to gain back health, Pestilence is used to slow, while Omen of War is used to just do that more damage. Okay, this is also why I'm wondering about that one magic mantle. The only one that does magic damage is actually Pestilence, which is the lowest down. Only the ghouls do magic damage. Aha. Whereas War does physical. So 2 of the ghouls are actually magical, and Seraphinox has actually gotten in behind Yorick here. And there's the kickback. Will Yorick actually be able to get out of this one? And that's the big question. Both of their ignites are down, both their flashes. There is no way to just like keep jumping. I get the feeling that was a little bit timid there. That could have been like, I think both of them are afraid, considering this is game 1. None of them wants to lose that edge over, and then just going into game 2, the momentum will be with the person who wins this game. The Yorick has actually realised that a red pot would actually be really useful in this situation. As you can see, he's brought that down there in his items, which is really helpful. I'm just going to clear out the screen so you can just see the prettiness of lowest graphic settings on LoL. As you can see, my laptop is not exactly the best. No shadows to be seen, because it works better that way. Now, I'm not entirely sure how Yorick's ultimate would work in this situation. Does it count as... It doesn't count as a death until he actually dies. So... So does that mean that if Yorick died first, but had his ultimate to bring himself back, what would happen? I could not tell you the rules on that one, but hopefully that won't become an issue. But I'm pretty sure that it would be as soon as the actual Reverend is gone, that Yorick would be declared fully dead. Very passive now, but you can see that Lee Sin has actually gone miles ahead in the minion count, actually going double Yorick's scoring minions, which is more a factor of bad farming rather than any real skill on Sarah's part. There's just been a lack of taking those minions to Yorick, which is almost essential now due to like the length of this game. The further he falls behind the minions, the more gold he's falling behind. You can see up the top that he's already 7k behind, 6k behind, 7k behind, 7k, 700 gold behind, 800 gold behind. It's slowly gaining. You can see here in the actual money tab, Yorick only has 900 gold right now, whereas Lee Sin is probably able to go back and buy himself maybe a brutalizer, or you're more than likely a brutalizer. Do you see in the initial engagements here, Lee Sin is taking an awful lot of damage, considering that Yorick actually has no damage items. It's just that tankiness that he has, his innate tankiness, and that damage from the 3 different minions is really taking down Lee Sin. But you can see that Lee Sin is just constantly gaining back that health through his lifesteal abilities. Another engagement here now. No ultimates used and shielding out, and that's Lee Sin safe again. No need to use that ward resonating strike in again, just trying to do a bit more damage, trying to take down that Yorick. And the flashes are used, but the shield again just allowing him to run away, but that ignite almost taking him down, just not low enough, and Yorick backs off and Lee Sin backs off. Yorick coming out the better in that one, allowing him to stay in lane longer, but taking the opportunity to go back and buy some items. Maybe not the best opportunity to do that here, but I suppose Lee Sin will be coming back into lane with more items. Boots 2 on Lee Sin, just again, I don't know if that is the best choice. The speed, again, not really essential in this. He's able to stay on that Yorick anyways, and all it does is allow that slow to wear off quicker. So again, I don't think that's the most efficient option right now. Probably more damage, more sustain maybe, just to be able to live longer. Taking that golem there, that's no real problem. Asking what TCF, I can tell you, I was actually chosen a few. It's a small little thing, died off pretty quick, but of course, once you have your name selected in League of Legends, there is no changing it unless you want to pay out 20 quid, which not many people are actually willing to do. Also picking up pickaxe on both sides actually. just to increase that damage. So you can see that very almost even just the tankiness more so of Yorick, just keeping him ahead. Engagements. See the damage of those minions really starting to eat into Lee Sin now. Yorick is actually able to bully him out of lane. He's not able to actually come out from under his tower at all now, which is going to be allow Yorick to catch up on that farm. He's still 50-60 minions behind, which is terrible to be honest. But just the amount of gold he's losing is going to slowly add up. But I suppose the bad money management almost on Lee Sin's part is going to allowing him to stay there and actually bully. Yorick is allowed to bully Lee Sin now because of that sort of damage, maybe that maybe a bit of tankiness, just to be able to tank those minions, buying magic resist in when the major amount of damage is actually attack based. The shield really does allow, there's a load of different things that help Lee Sin to stay in lane, such as his shield and his regen, or his lifesteal, sorry. But Yorick is just doing way too much damage. He's just not able to keep up with all of that. Using the tower to just try and kill off the minions. I'm pretty sure the minions are actually worth gold, maybe? Yes, I think they're worth a small amount of gold, which is another reason probably why Lee Sin's minion score is so high, because he's able to actually get the last hits on those and make just a little bit of gold. Almost feels like Yorick could tower dive at this point, but again, just that simple fear. This is not exactly the biggest tournament in the world, but it's still, I suppose they're taking it seriously, which is commendable. And you can see all these things going in on top of him. The tower starts hitting on Yorick. He's waiting in the bush. But Lee Sin is using this opportunity to go back and just grab those golems, just to keep things rolling along. Yorick is very low on mana at the moment. He's trying to push in on this turret, trying to get that win through first turret down rather than going for the kill, which is a slower method, but probably the safer in the long run, considering he's Yorick, and that tankiness could probably just save him. Using that ward in that bush, probably not the best idea. Could have used that for an escape maybe. There was no real reason to use that, so I'm not entirely sure why he decided. Maybe just to clear him out later. And now we have an attack going in on him. They're doing some damage, throwing out those minions, going really low, and then going on a turret and just avoiding all the attack. I'm getting really worried that this is just going to cut out now, because we only have a few more seconds remaining in this replay. I think we're not going to see it all. This sucks. No way. Oh wait. Whoa, that was a huge amount of damage. You can see the ultimate from Lee Sin. Whoa. That just happened. Holy shit. I was just talking about the game, thinking the replay was going to just finish before anything could actually happen, and then that goes and happens. Lee Sin's ultimate just doing a huge amount of damage, that burst just taking down that Yorick, and Yorick just not having the mana there. He had already run out. He just did not realize that his mana was so low. Had that pocket red pot, didn't use it, forgot about it. Seems to be just an oversight again, just not enough mana. That could have gone on for a lot longer, probably could have easily ended up. You can see that like the death was about maybe 2-3 seconds. We're going to go back It's gonna end.